Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GM Sports Report, your weekly podcast on all things sports, where every play counts. I'm Grant, and I'm here with my co-host Mason as we get ready to cover the latest news, headlines, and upcoming events coming on in the sports world. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to see all things GM Sports Report. Mason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Grant. How are you?
Doing good, man. Got a lot to talk about. Baseball is back. There's some new things introduced into baseball that a lot of people are talking about right now that we're going to get into later. And just excited to start the show.
Nice.
All right, so we're going to start out this episode like how we start every week with our hot take of the week. So, Mason, I'll let you go ahead with that. What is your hot take this week?
All right, so my hot take, I wouldn't say it's too much of a hot take. It's just a new rule, I guess, change introduced to the NFL, and that's the overtime rule. I'm not too sure if guys are familiar with the original rule where if you score a touchdown in first possession, then the game's over. Well, the NFL just changed that to where now both teams are able to have a possession no matter what the score is. Unless it's a field goal at first and then a touchdown, then obviously whoever scores a touchdown first wins. But I love it, honestly. I just kind of wanted to see what you thought about it. It's definitely kind of like back to the college, I think, aspect of it to where we could see potential shootouts to where we could go into like two or three
Yeah.
overtimes and just see the score keep going. I don't think it's too crazy. It's not a hot take. I just definitely want to get your idea or thoughts on it. But I personally love it.
Yeah, I love it as well. This needed to be a change made years ago, if you ask me. I mean, how many times have we
Yeah.
seen an amazing playoff game going on and it gets ended because, the
Yep.
team wins a coin flip or something like that? So I think this is
Yep.
a great idea. And like you said, it's going to bring some shootouts, which I think are so fun to watch, like those unfold.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm super happy that the NFL finally made this change because I feel like that's all fans have wanted is like specifically this rule change. So,
Yep.
excited to see how it plays out in the future.
Nice.
All right. My hot take of the week, I'm going to go baseball related because opening day was last week. So, I'm in my baseball bag right now. I think the Mariners actually have the best starting rotation in baseball and not the Dodgers. The Mariners last season had a really solid rotation. It's a lot of the same guys, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, and Luis Castillo. They're just really good. Um, they all started last week and they all went 6+ innings with a sub 2.5 ERA. So they're looking really good. They're leading the league right now. Obviously, we're only a week into the season, but they're leading the league right now
Mhm.
in ERA and strikeouts. And they're just picking up where they left off last season. They were leading in a lot of pitching stats last season. They also got Brian Wu, who's a really solid starter. So their starting rotation could carry them to the AL West because I don't think the AL West is that competitive this season. And if they can pitch like that, and you got the bats and Randy Arozarena and Julio Rodriguez and Cal Rayleigh, you got all those guys hitting well. Who knows what can happen for the Mariners? But I think that starting pitching rotation is lethal, and I do think it's better than the Dodgers. And I know that's a hot take because everyone loves this Dodgers rotation they
Mhm.
have.
Nice.
All right, so now we're going to head over to our underdog of the week. This is where we highlight someone that doesn't get talked about as much. So Mason, I'll let you go ahead. Who is your underdog for this week?
My underdog is Thomas Howe. He is on the Florida Gators. He's pretty much, I'd say, probably the best six man in college basketball right now. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists with 2 steals. All coming off the bench, giving Florida that spark against Maryland that they needed because they were down pretty late into the game. I think they were down like 12 with like 5 minutes left or something crazy. He was able to give that spark, and then Walter Clayton Jr. just took over. The man is insane. I'm really interested to see what if he goes up a little in the draft. I know you said that's kind of not really what they do, but yeah, definitely give it to Thomas Howell. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that pick. I don't know too much about him, but it sounds like he's doing his job, and that's all you can ask for when a team's
Yep.
making a deep run in this bracket. So, yeah, I like it. My underdog of the week, I'm going to slide over to the NBA for this one, and I'm going to pick Tim Hardaway Jr. He had a 32-point game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, so the Pistons were able to defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers. And man, we talk about the Pistons multiple times on this show,
Hmm.
but I think week after week they're getting more and more competitive and like should be looked at more and more seriously when you see this Pistons team beating the Cavs is no easy feat. The Cavs have been the most dominant team in the league all season, and Tim Hardaway helping out and dropping 32 points in that win, I think deserves to be spotlighted. So that's my underdog of the week. Oh wow! Did
Nice.
you just get the notification I just got from Shams?
Uh, yeah. Yep.
Jalen Brunson out for the season.
Yep. Nope. I saw the Ian report. Didn't see that one.
It says
Nice.
Jalen Brunson out for the season to undergo foot surgery.
Wow. Well, that was fun for the Knicks. Yeah, tune in next year where hopefully everyone's healthy. Dang, that's
April
annoying.
Fools,
Wow.
buddy. April Fools. Come
Wow, dude,
on,
I was
man. It's
literally over
April
here
Fools on the day of
stressing.
recording this. I had to get a
That is
joke
not
out.
cool, bro. That is not cool. I was like, all right, Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to just get off the pod. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted to call it a day. Yeah, that was a good one. Great job, Grant. Sure you had that loaded up
I had it
all
literally
morning.
written down in my notes to make sure I did it so I didn't forget.
Wow. All right. Well,
It's April
glad you got
Fools.
some. No, yeah, that was good. That was good. I was like, he just got cleared for all basketball activities. Why would he have to get surgery? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Nice. Good
All
one.
right. Sorry
Going
about
into
that.
the NBA content. Yeah,
Yep.
segue.
Yep. So now we're going to slide over to the NBA where Jalen Brunson is not out for the season, by the way. As I said,
Oh
we were recording
gosh.
this on the day of April Fools. So I thought I should get Mason with an April Fool's joke.
That
Um,
was good.
so now for the NBA, we're going to do what we do every week with our player of the week and team of the week. So, Mason, I'll let you go ahead and take that away.
All right. So I'll go with the Eastern Conference Player of the Week, and that's Paulo Banchero. I was really looking forward for him to come back. I honestly like him a lot as a player. Him coming into the season, I think it was 2 years ago, or into the league, I think 2 years ago. He's just been lighting it up for that Orlando team. He had 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. That's what he was averaging for the past week. Yeah, definitely that star power that Orlando needed back again because they have been pretty, riddled with injuries throughout this year.
Yeah, that's great. Shout out Paolo Banchero, but my player of the week is who should have actually won the Eastern Conference Player of the Month, and that is Tyler Hero. This last week, he averaged
Mm.
29 points per game, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, while shooting 63% from three on a high volume. Also leading the Heat to a 5-game win streak, so it results in winning, unlike what the Magic have been doing. And
I'm not a
so I
Magic
think the
fan.
real no, no, no. I know.
Okay,
I'm just
okay,
saying.
okay.
I think Tyler Hero should have won Eastern Conference Player of the Week. With how bad this Heat
Yeah,
season
that's
has been,
fair.
it's been very hard to find positives in this Heat season. But there's been one constant this year, and that has been Tyler Hero. And I think he
Yeah,
deserves the recognition that he earns by his play. So I just had to shout him out. I'm
nice.
not knocking your Paulo Banchero pick, but I
Okay,
personally think
okay,
that Tyler Hero should have won Player of the Week.
nice.
All right, so now we're going to slide over to our team of the week, and I'll let you go ahead with that.
All right, so my team of the week, I think we've been kind of talking about them a couple times throughout the last few weeks, and that is the Clippers. 8-2 in the last 10. They are in a very tight race. The 5 seed through the 8 seed is all within a game or two, within each like next to each other. So I think it consists of like the Warriors, the Wolves, and dang, I can't remember the other team. But yeah, the Clippers are all in that mix. And there's under 10 games left in the regular season, so I'm really interested to see if a team just has a push and really solidifies their name into that playoff 6 seed spot, and potentially get out of that play and seed. So yeah, they are my team of the week.
Yeah, I also picked the Clippers as the team of the week, like you said, 8-2 in last 10. And I don't know if you remember, but a few weeks back for my hot take of the week, I couldn't think of anything, and I just said this hot take of like, oh, I think the Clippers could be a legit team in the
Yeah,
West with Kawhi coming back and James Harden having a great season. But it's really the
yeah,
truth because James Harden is having a phenomenal year. Like I said, they're kind of coming back fully healthy at the right time. Kawhi's in the full swing of things now. Norman Powell's coming back from injury. And I think they have one of the most underrated big men in the league with Zubac. He's had a phenomenal season, averaging
yeah.
a double-double. and can get you blocks on the defensive end. So I'm actually interested to see where this Clippers team goes. I feel like they're always a team that have like some big names on their team, but never can really get the job done when it comes to playoff time. I'm interested to see if that changes because usually Kawhi's track record when he's in the playoffs and healthy is a pretty solid record. So we'll see what they can do, but I
Yeah.
also picked them as my team of the week.
Nice.
All right, so now we're going to go ahead and slide to the MLB because, like I said, the season has started as of a week ago. And there's really one huge news topic swirling the MLB right now, taking the league by storm, so to speak. And for those of you who don't know, that is the torpedo bat. It is the new bat that has been designed for players. It was really shined on from the Yankees when they had 20 runs against the Brewers, but other players in the league are using it now and stuff like that. So it's taken the league by storm. And it's really split fan bases 50-50, I think, on if they should be banned, if they should keep them around. So I just want to get on the record books your thoughts on it. And if you think it should be banned, if you think it should be allowed, because there's like, it's just the talk of the town right now. So I want to know your opinion
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, so we kind of talked about it the other night, but I'm kind of all for it. I think it makes baseball very interesting. I know that a lot of people are discussing saying, "Oh, it's cheating or whatever," but you know, everyone's been bringing up that it's within the parameters and stuff, and uh, yeah, it's hasn't been really touched in like 250 years of baseball, but if the players are playing well with it and the league, I guess, doesn't step in to change things, I'd say just let it go. Um, it just really sucks as a Yankees fan to see that the first time ever like having a light shine on it, we dropped 20 in the second game of the season against the Brewers. So the only person I really care whether or not they're using it is Aaron Judge. He's had phenomenal seasons, and he said that why would I change my bat if I've been doing well without it? So I really give credit to him. But I know guys like Austin Wells, Anthony Volpe, Paul Goldschmidt, and Jazz Chisholm are all using it, and of course they all got homers like the second game, third game of the season. So yeah, I'm for it. So yeah, I'm interested to see what happens.
Well, you know what else is interesting to touch on that is they were saying that last season, I believe, Stanton was using one in the postseason. I don't know if you remember, but
Yeah.
Stanton had a great postseason run, and the numbers don't lie. So it really does seem like this bat is really improving players' numbers. We saw Ellie De La Cruz last night with his first game with it,
Hmm.
hit 2 home runs, and Nico Horner for the Cubs has been using, and he has an exceptionally high batting average to start the season. So I just want to get this on the record books, and because Yankees fans are very defensive about this right now, and I just want to get this on the records. My problem isn't that the Yankees are the team that was caught using this because I know that's what they're saying. Like, oh, they're just saying it because it's the Yankees. No,
Hmm.
I'm just kind of a traditionalist when it comes to baseball. I've been watching this sport. I played it since I grew up. I played baseball. That's all I did. Um, so I'm very traditionalist when it comes to baseball. And my thoughts on it are so mixed. It's like hard for me to gain like a real opinion on it.
Hmm.
I just find it so hard to believe that like baseball has been played since the 1800s and now all of a sudden there's this new bat and you can just magically shave off one part of the bat and move it to where, you can find more success for the hitter. It just seems like there needs to be a balance. It's not really fair to pitchers because it's not like, hey, can a pitcher just change the seams on a baseball to where it helps his spin rate and helps his pitch grips and stuff like that? No, he can't. He has to use the standard baseball. So why do hitters get to change their bat and not use a standard bat? I think there needs to be a checks and balance towards it. But at this time, it's not illegal. So I'm not mad that players are going out there and using it right now because, it's legal. They're allowed to. So I think if it's at the rate that it's at right now and hitters keep hitting at the rate that it's they're hitting at, I think it has to be banned. Like there's no way that, we saw the Yankees hit 15 home runs on opening weekend. Like I said, Ellie De La Cruz last night with the big game with it. Nico Horner, you got the guy on the Twins, Jeffers, using it. I saw the Braves are placing an order, so we'll see how the Braves start hitting as that goes on. I saw Bryce Harper is going to get his hands on one. So I think it's just going to be for the league right now. They're just going to kind of look at it for right now, see how people are hitting with them. But I think if they're hitting at the rate they're hitting at, there's no choice but to ban them because it seems like,
Yeah.
you know what it is? It's like what Jeff Passons was saying with the hockey sticks back in the day. used to, be able to curve them as much as they want until like, the league had to step in and set a regulation on that. I think it's kind of going to be like that situation, but we'll see. At this time, I don't blame players for trying it because it seems like a pretty good bat.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it gets banned or not. I think maybe by All-Star break we'll have that answer. I think they're going to give it a good little bit of time. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
That's for
Yep.
sure. All right, now we're going to slide over to the next piece of news in the MLB, which I found pretty shocking. Jurickson Profar, who was a really good hitter for the Padres last year, has been suspended 80 games for use of illegal substance on the Braves. So, Mason, you got any thoughts on that?
I mean, when was that? Was he using it this season or did he use it last season?
It looks like it was during the off season, is what the report was saying.
Okay. Yeah, because honestly, I saw it and it shocked me. Like it seemed like it came out of nowhere. So
Mm,
I mean, yeah, he was having a great season, but I didn't think that it was like I guess they found it enough to test him. Um
yeah,
and just, obviously 80 game suspension, which is a pretty big blow for his team. So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Jurickson Profar guy, so I was kind of shocked when I found this news. He was probably one of the last players I'd expect to see, be busted for PED use. But it looks like he came out with a statement and said that he didn't know he was using an illegal substance, which we see this happen multiple times. It happened with
Mhm.
Tatis not too long ago, where he was using something he didn't know to help like a ringworm or something like that. So I just find it hard to believe that you don't know you're taking a legal substance. I'm sure the MLB constantly reminds you what you can and can't take and what you can and can't put in your body. But, you know, it is what it is. Big blow to the Braves. They always seem like they can't catch a break at the starts of the season after last
Yeah.
season losing Strider and Acuna. And now they get a good acquisition in Jurickson Profar and lose him for 80 games. So can't catch a break. Don't take the illegal substances, though. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then the final bit of news going around in the MLB right now is Rafael Devers is having quite the start and not in a good way to the season. He is now 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts. What is going on with Rafael Devers, Mason?
I have no idea. I think so. I saw something the other day where a report said that when Stanton first originally was moved from outfield to DH, he had a pretty, I guess, significant impact as far as hitting. It just I see that it takes the player's mind off seeing that, like thinking that they're not contributing as much, and takes their mind off of like just only hitting, so they just are able to do whatever they got to do. Um, so yeah, I think that's kind of the case with Devers. You get Bregman coming and playing at third, and now Devers is only focused on hitting, and I think he's just overthinking it. Just too much in his head to where in any sport, any athlete in any sport, overthinking does not help. As much as you're in your head, it's only going to make things worse. So, yeah, I think that's kind of the case with him right now. And obviously, he sees what his stat line is, and it's only making it that much worse just thinking about it. So that's kind of where I think it's going. I think he'll break out of it eventually, whether it's sooner or later. But I don't think the Red Sox are going to do anything as significant as bench him because that would probably only make it worse. So yeah,
$300 million. So better not bench him.
yeah, yeah, I know.
I'm glad that you touched on the whole Bregman part of things because I think that's where a lot of it roots. There was
Hmm.
no secret when Bregman was signed with the Red Sox. Devers was unhappy with the fact of him becoming a DH. He said as soon as Bregman got signed, like, look, I'm the third baseman of this team. I'm going to play third base. And he ultimately got DH.
Hmm.
So I'm sure there's a mix of frustration with that. And obviously, like you said, getting in your head when you're hitting. Baseball is the worst sport to overthink in. You will not have success in baseball if
Yep.
you overthink, especially hitting. Um, so I think it's just one of those things. He's in a major slump right now. Like you said, I think he will break out of it. But if he doesn't,
Hmm.
we're looking at a Chris Davis 2.0. For those who don't know, Chris Davis of the Baltimore Orioles, one of the best power hitting left-handed bats in the league, went on a huge slump, never became the same, got booted out of the league a few years later after getting his big contract. So I'm hoping it's not the case and we're not going to see a Chris Davis 2.0 at Devers. But It's definitely an eye-raising start to the season. But, all kinds of different players are off to a bad start right now. Francisco Lindor, who was in second place for the MVP last season, off to an 0 for 12 start this season. So it happens. It's just a slump, and
Yep.
I think he'll break out of it. It's just the strikeouts that are the more alarming thing on my end. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Thought we should talk about it because everyone's talking about that too. I think we touched on the three biggest talking points from the MLB so far. And now, real quick, we'll do our player of the week and team of the week for the MLB side of things. So I'll let you go ahead with that.
Yeah, I know it's not gonna be exciting, but I'm just gonna keep it biased. You know, Player of the week, I'll go Aaron Judge, AL Player of the week. 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, 545 batting average on 11 at bats, and him and the Yankees have been hot. They're 3-0 in the first three, 15 home runs total, and 36 runs scored in the first 3 games. And we have the Diamondbacks today through Thursday, so they're a pretty solid team. I know your Cubs just faced them. I'm really interested to see if our bullpen and our starting pitchers can kind of limit the runs and the on bases. So, yeah, hopefully we can stay hot.
Yeah, you'll probably do a better job than the Cubs bullpen did against the Diamondbacks, but that's a whole different
Mm,
topic. I also picked Aaron Judge as my player of the week. Pretty self-explanatory, just an amazing first week to the season. So that's all I
mm.
really got to say about that. I'm going with Aaron Judge as well. Now we'll go team of the week, Mason. Who you got?
Oh, I just picked the Yankees as well. I
Oh, Yankees
went
as
over
well.
them.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm going with the Padres off to a 5-0 start. I expect them to take a step back after losing some guys, but they're starting off hot like they ended the season last season with a hot end to the regular season. So I'm going with the Padres 5-0.
Nice.
All right. And now we're going to talk about March Madness because the final four has been set. All one seeds, which I find surprising. We have Florida and Auburn versus Duke and Houston. Mason, who do you think are going to win these matchups? We'll start with the
Oh
Florida Auburn
man.
game.
So Florida Auburn is like the one that I think is going to be probably the best out of both of these games. Two absolute powerhouses over in the SEC. Um, Auburn, they have the guys to win it. But on the other side, Florida, I think, has an amazing defense. They got big men who could just stay in the paint and just, pretty much rim protect. Auburn is great at scoring though, so I think it'll be a big clash between offense and defense side of the ball. Um, I'm gonna just go with my gut. And I'm gonna say Florida wins. I think the only thing I can think of, I think impacting Florida from winning is having this big of a break because I think it is like a week, like a couple days to before they play again. So that'll either help them or hurt them. But Walter Clayton Jr., I think if he stays hot when he needs to, he's probably one of the most clutchest players in the college basketball right now. So yeah, I'll just say Florida.
Yeah, I think that game's going to be must see TV. I think it's going to be super competitive. I think it'll be close, maybe back and forth. But I also am going to pick Florida to win this game. I obviously, when we started this March Madness, I picked Florida to win, as you did too. I see them
Mhm.
beating Auburn. I think Auburn's very good. Like you said, they have talent, but I think Florida's the more confident team right now. They look like a team that can't be beat. And, Walter Clayton Jr., like you said, looking like one of the most clutch players in college basketball, one of the most confident players in college basketball. So I think
Mhm.
that they'll handle Auburn and win, but I do think it's going to be a great game. But we'll see what happens. They call it March Madness for a reason. All right, now we
Yeah,
got Duke
absolutely.
versus Houston. Who do you have winning that matchup?
As good as Houston's been this year, I think Duke is just in it to win it all. I don't think that there's any team right now that can beat Duke, and if it's the closest team I could think of would be able to is Florida, and even them, I could see them losing by like anywhere from 5 to 10. Um, Duke is just on a even without Cooper, as we saw in the before March Madness started. They were still able to get the wins that they needed to. So yeah, I think Duke will beat Houston.
Yeah, I think Duke's going to handle Houston as well. I actually had Houston go into the Final Four in like my original predictions,
Hmm.
but I think they're good, but I don't think they're good enough to beat Duke. I think Duke is absolutely phenomenal. Cooper Flag is on a roll right now. Like you said, they don't even necessarily need Cooper Flag to win some games. So, yeah, I think Duke's going to handle them pretty easily. I don't think this is going to be a close game, really. It might be close in the
Yeah.
score, but I think like when you're watching it, you're not going to think like, oh, Houston has a chance sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right. So it'll be interesting to see how those matchups play in the Final Four as we near the end of the March Madness bracket. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up that segment. So now we're going to head to my favorite segment of the week, where I give Mason 6 trivia questions, sorry, and see if he can answer them. And if you don't like the trivia questions this week, I'm sorry, you can blame ChatGPT because I was running out of ideas
Oh
here.
my
So I was just
gosh.
asking ChatGPT for some trivia, and they gave me some. So we're going to rock with that.
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
Starting with the Yankees. Who was the first Yankees player to get their number retired?
Babe Ruth.
It was not Babe Ruth. Same era, though.
Uh, Lou Gehrig.
Correct. It was Lou Gehrig, number
Okay.
4. All right. Number 2. Who on the current Yankees roster has a World Series ring?
Can you give me a position?
If I gave you a position, it would make it very obvious.
Okay. Is he a starter?
Yes. He's in your starting lineup. Yes.
So, not outfield. We'll go third base. No. Shortstop. No. Second base. Who's our second base right now? No. It's not Goldschmidt, is it?
It is not Goldschmidt. It is one of your new guys. I'll give you a hint there.
Oh, Max Fried. What? I thought he got one with the Braves.
Well, I'm talking position player.
Oh,
But
oh, oh. I feel like I'm missing second base. Who the heck plays second base? I don't know,
I
man.
think
I don't
you're
know.
overthinking it.
I think so too.
Cody Bellinger with the Los Angeles Dodgers won
Oh
a
my
ring.
gosh. I just skimmed over outfield because I'm over here thinking Verdugo's still in the outfield.
Yeah, it is Cody Bellinger. But the Max Fried, I'll give you the
Okay.
point because you did pull the Max Fried pull. I should have
Okay. He got one
mentioned
with the
position
Dodgers
player.
though, right? Or the Braves, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe off the
Okay.
top of my head that Max Fried was on that Braves World Series team. So I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'll give you a point there.
All right.
Number 3. What since you're a numbers guy,
Yeah.
what number was Quentin Grimes when he was on the Knicks?
Number 6.
Correct. He was number 6.
Big numbers guy.
Okay. And then your second Knicks question. Who led the New York Knicks in scoring in the 2022 to 2023 season?
Jalen Brunson. Ooh, 22. I think I'm overthinking it again. I'm gonna go Jalen Brunson, but I know who it is if it's not.
It was Julius Randle, 25 points per
That's what I
game.
was gonna go with. That's what I was gonna go with. Because
Yep.
I knew
I did not
21
know he
and
had a
22
25
he was
point per
doing
game
well.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
20,
Pretty
21, I
impressive,
think he had
honestly.
like 27. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're on the Giants questions, so I expect you to get these right. Again, this is ChatGPT, so I've never heard of this guy in my life, but I saw it. I'm
Oh
like, if you're a
gosh.
diehard Giants fan, I think you'll know this answer. Um, what New York Giants receiver made the iconic helmet catch in the Super Bowl?
David Tyree.
Okay, correct. I've never heard of that before, but I figured you'd know that.
Yeah.
Um, okay, and then finally, which New York Giants defensive player wore jersey number 94 and led the team in sacks during the 2020 season?
2020, 94. Oh my gosh. Snacks. Damon Harrison. No,
That's
hold
not who it
on.
is on it.
Hold on. Dalvin
11 and
Tomlinson.
a half sacks was his sack total for that season.
It wasn't Dalvin Tomlinson.
It was not.
94. 2020, you said?
2020, yes.
So it's not Snacks or Dalvin Tomlinson. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's gonna hurt me so much. Can you give me a first letter of the
L.
first name? L.
LW is his initials.
Leonard Williams, my guy.
There it is, Leonard
Wait,
Williams.
he didn't wear 94.
Okay, then ChatGPT was wrong. Let's
He,
look this
he
up real
wore
quick.
99.
All right, hold on. Let me look this up so I
I
can
have his
confirm for the
jersey.
fans.
I think 2020 wasn't he with the Jets still, I thought? Even still, he's 99 either way.
Okay, so ChatGPT was wrong. It is 99, so that is on me. So I will once again give you the question correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, I
that
was
threw me
running out
off.
of ideas, so I was like, I just asking
No, I get it.
ChatGPT, like, give me a jersey number question for the Giants. That's what it gave me.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Okay. I
Well,
like
I think
it.
you did a pretty good job. I think I'll give you all 6
Yeah.
points there.
All
So
right.
yeah,
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah. All
Cool,
right. Well, that's
man.
going to wrap up this episode. So thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode of GM Sports Report, where every play counts. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to be able to see our weekly episodes on all things sports. For additional content, check the description to see links to our Instagram and TikTok account. This is Grant and Mason signing off for now. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you, guys.